Coming up, more community members seek answers into the death of Kendrick Johnson.
And regional law enforcement officers participate in a sting to catch sexual predators. Your News Valdosta starts now. Welcome to News Valdosta. I'm Stephen Cook.
And I'm Caitlin Barker. Topping our news today, the investigation continues into the Boston Marathon bombing. Boston Marathon bombing suspect Jahar Zarhaev is hospitalized in serious condition with a tube down his throat after being captured Saturday night. Law enforcement says he is now communicating through writing since being captured, and they have been questioning him since Sunday. No reports have been written divulging any information pertaining to a motive.
A recycling plant caught fire early this morning in northwest Atlanta. At 4 o'clock this morning, firefighters responded to the reported blaze at 830 Jefferson Street Northwest. This fire comes only days after the tragic explosion of a fertilizer plant in Texas that did kill 35 people. Even though this building was nothing like the plant in Texas, people still became concerned. Fortunately, the fire was under control in less than an hour, but fire crews have continued to douse hot spots late into this morning. Authorities have yet to determine the cause of the fire.
A local high school student that was found dead earlier in the year has sparked a major movement in the community. News Valdosta's Benjamin Skinder has more on the story.
What do we want? When do we want it?
For over the past week, this is the chant that has been repeated on the steps of the courthouse in downtown Valdosta.
In January, a student of Lowndes High School, Kendrick Johnson, affectionately known as KJ, was found dead in the school's old gym after disappearing the day before. The initial ruling by Sheriff Prine was no foul play. However, his family disagrees.
We don't feel like they have been honest with us with anything, and all we asked was for the truth, something that we feel like as a family we have not received. We asked for a coroner's inquest. We haven't received one of those. We don't have a copy of the autopsy. We don't know why, what, where, or when he died. And these are things that are important to our family.
In the picture, it's been devastating for the family more because of the unanswered questions. You know, and no participation with the police department, not the police department, but the sheriff and everyone that's been involved. No participation with our family, no question answered. And we just want some answers.
Two events have occurred to help provide support for the family's push against the ruling. On Thursday, April 18th, a candlelight vigil was held at the courthouse. At this event, there were multiple speakers, including Morehouse Branch NAACP leader. As well, this past Saturday, there was a rally that surrounded the old courthouse in the center of Valdosta with protesters holding signs of Kendrick's before and after death photo. As well as holding these events, the family began a petition to call on CNN so that their plight could be heard. VSU student Anthony Tom helped to raise awareness of the movement by bringing the petition to campus.
They've gotten petitions. One petition is to change from no foul play to whatever else it could have been. Another petition is for the coroner to release his reports. What we're trying to do is get as many signatures as possible. So what I did, because of the fact that the community was very in tune with what was going on, I noticed that the campus really wasn't in tune with what was going on. So what I did was I came down here and I got some petitions. I took it upon myself, being a good citizen, also a good student. So I took it upon myself to circulate these petitions around campus because of the fact there's so many students on campus who aren't informed about what's actually going on right here in the city.
Kendrick's family have made it very clear that they want the truth about KJ's death. They're pulling others to support their cause. Whatever happens from their efforts, we'll be sure to cover it. With News Valdosta, I'm Benjamin Skinder.
The North Florida Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force was busy this last week. It joined with local law enforcement on a sting operation that included a Valdosta man and a Brooks County man who met up with young children to engage in sexual behavior. 20 other men were arrested and came from all over Georgia, Florida, and Alabama.
Coming up, good news for Georgia kids and obesity ratings.
And a look at your local weather forecast. Stay with us.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Siller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing you. Believe me, I'm good at it. But at some point, you're going to need to start pushing yourself.
See, once you've got your GED diploma, You'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell them. You can't change your past, but you can definitely change your future.
That makes me so happy, I'm ready to bust out a dance.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? My gentle technique isn't really working. You need something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
You listen, and you listen good.
Hey, where's my sandwich? Terry? Terry!
Take it from me, the King DMC. It's a real cool thing to get your GED.
Get that diploma!
Now hold on and we'll find you free GED classes. Capiche?
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Welcome back to News Valdosta. There's good news for Georgia kids today.
The Data Resource Center for Child and Adolescent Health says Georgia's children are no longer the second most obese in the nation. The study ranked the state 17th overall. Public Health Commissioner Brenda Fitzgerald is encouraged by the numbers and says this is a sign of success for Governor Deal's SHAPE program. The SHAPE program is currently the nation's largest network of partners committed to improving the health of Georgia's children. The program will continue with the goal of dropping Georgia's rating even more while improving the lives of the state's children.
This week, Moody Air Force Base will be conducting joint military exercises. Soldiers and airmen will use training ammunition. There will be periods of increased air traffic, including low-flying helicopters and airplanes at night. Army Rangers and Air Force Special Operations Forces will be responsible for the increased traffic and noise. Moody appreciates the support from the members of the community residing in the surrounding areas as this training is executed.
This weekend, the theater area of VSU offered a different type of experience for the students and the general public. News Valdosta's Yolanda Mitchell has more on that story.
This past Saturday, the Valdosta State University Readers Theater Ensemble performed Home Aloud on Sawyer Stage. With a stripped-down, bare-bones set, simple lighting and staging, it was the actor's job to paint the stage with colorful storytelling. I caught up with director and assistant professor Carl B. Wildman to discuss his approach to such a piece.
Well, Reader's Theater can be approached in several different ways, and there's a lot of freedom with it. But one of the defining elements is that there are no costumes, that the scripts are in hand, and there's no blocking or staging as there would be in a traditional play. So often literature that's not intended for performance can then be spoken aloud and shared with an audience. It's another form of storytelling.
Since shows such as this require a different kind of approach, young actors are able to have a different kind of theatrical experience than they might normally be used to.
I think I learned a lot about the flow of your words and your movement and stuff like that. I know we don't really move a lot when we perform, but when we practice vocalizing the words, he made us do different exercises where we went around the room and literally threw our words across the room kind of thing, just to get the point across of the sound.
Valdosta State University's Theater and Dance Department reminds us once again that there is no place like home. With News Valdosta, I'm Yolanda Mitchell.
Taking a look at your local weather, today expect a high of 74 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Tonight's low will be around 61 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, expect a high of 83 degrees with mostly sunny skies and a low of 55 degrees tomorrow night.
Coming up, VSU dance students wrap up the year with a special choreography performance.
And we'll tell you what happened on this day in history. Stay with us.
Welcome back to News Valdosta. I'm Stephen Cook.
And I'm Caitlin Barker. Before you throw away that aluminum can or toss a piece of paper out your window, you should know that today is Earth Day. Celebrated in over 190 countries, Earth Day is dedicated to preserving and beautifying the planet. Planting a tree or shutting off unneeded lights in your house are just a couple of ways you can celebrate. For more ideas, check out earthday.org.
VSU hosted the 37th Annual International Dinner this past Saturday. International students served the 300 guests food from their home countries and provided entertainment for the night. The students also donated various items from their countries for a silent auction. The money raised from the dinner will go towards next year's International Dinner and will help provide resources for incoming international students.
As we complete the semester, VSU's dance majors displayed their completed original work in the Student Choreography Showcase. News Valdosta's Andrew Ritfield has more on the story.
This past weekend, VSU's dance majors were able to stage a semester's worth of hard work in this year's Emerging Artist Choreography Showcase. The event featured work that was developed through the Dance Majors Choreography class, a class which teaches young dancers all about the choreographic process.
The process is a lot more than what the common person may believe it to be. It involves creating an idea, thinking about the idea, incubating that idea, and then putting that idea on people and then on the stage. That involves not only dancing and movement, but it also involves a technical aspect that we had to do, such as creating the entire light design and the costume concept all on our own.
Although VSU's dance majors are seasoned performers, they have to succumb to a new type of stress as a choreographer sitting in the audience.
They are equally as stressful as a choreographer. You put your movement on these dancers, you just expect them to know it and expect them to perform it and expect it to look the same every time, but you know logistically that's not right because being a dancer every day is different. And I know as being a dancer, it's stressful being on stage and making sure that somebody's work looks good.
With VSU's student dancers looking to transition into the professional setting, this year's Choreography Showcase has given them the opportunity of a lifetime. With News Valdosta, I'm Andrew Richfeld.
On this day in history in 1994, former President Richard M. Nixon died. He suffered a stroke at the age of 81. Nixon served as the 37th President of the United States from 1969 to 1974. He has been the only president to resign from office.
Thanks for watching News Valdosta. I'm Stephen Cook.
And I'm Caitlin Barker. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.